everybody, it's Nick from Hawk Pro Detailing, where my goal is to make you a better detailer. In this video, I'm going to tell you why you need a Brush Pro for auto detailing. A lot of folks say, Nick, I'm good with the drill brush. But what about giant areas of vehicle? You run into these more than you think. This is the back of a van. I have no idea what that is. First, I'm gonna hit it with compressed air. There's lots of dirt, chunks of dog hair. We want to get rid of the dry soil first, and then we will take care of this griminess. So no matter how you tackle this, I would always say get rid of the dry soil first. This has nothing to do with the Brush Pro, also known as a counter-rotating brush machine. I'll put a playlist up here to show you this is not the first time I've mentioned the Brush Pro. But yeah, you really just want to get all of the dry soil out. This is a van that gets used for all kinds of things, kids, hauling stuff. Obviously, there's a reason why auto detailers have jobs. And so don't look at a job like this and say, oh, this is such a mess. I can't believe I have to clean dirty cars like this. I'm just a janitor. It's like, no. You are an auto detailer. People come to you with dirty cars. Cars always get dirty again. That's why we'll keep having work. So be grateful for the work. This is dirty. We're good at cleaning stuff up. And that's the idea here. So I've got my air compressor rumbling in the background. I'm super grateful to have an air compressor and a hose reel and just a really efficient setup after a long time of just being messy. Real quick, I am going to switch to this nozzle now. I had the Tornador nozzle, but this one's going to help me get into little nooks and crannies right along the edge. And I'm wearing this respirator not just because it's COVID-19 world that we're living in now, but because this is the kind of van where you don't know how many years it's been on the road. I'm sure you could look it up, but obviously you get what I'm saying. There's a lot of grime in here, a lot of dust. You don't want that all kicking up into your lungs. Trust me, it's happened to me before. And so this particular air compressor tip is just a nice one because you're going to find mystery things under this lining and just like that. And so some things you're going to know, other things are just going to spring up into the air, dust and all kinds of who knows what. So wear the respirator and try to get as much dry soil out as possible, whether you're dealing with carpets or hard surfaces. Just if you can vacuum and compress, whatever you have to do, use a broom in a situation like this. You just want to get all the dry crap out so that you can actually attack what is stuck to those surfaces, remove that, and make it all pretty. But yes, the dust has got to go. And I'm just going to use my IK foamer here with some Power Clean from Optimum Polymer Technologies. I may have it diluted about 5-to-1. I just kind of approximate with a big pump sprayer like this. And this is the foamer. I use it on wheels. I use it to pre-treat vehicles with Power Clean. I don't know why, I just like Power Clean. I've been using it for a long time. I'm sure there's other all-purpose cleaners and degreasers out there that work great. You can play with dilution ratios, and the less water you put in and the more product you put in, the more powerful it will be. How about that for rocket science? But what I do want to do with this foam is just really soak it all into the pores of this particular vinyl, plastic surface, whatever this is. I'm not worrying about the high pH like I would maybe on carpets. I may not use a degreaser on carpets, but here I just want it to cling. I want the foam to do what it does best, which is just sit there, and as those bubbles burst, they continue cleaning as far as I can tell. So let that all-purpose cleaner out of the sun on an indoor surface dwell for a couple, 3 minutes. I mean, let it do its thing. I don't think I've ever showed you guys the Brush Pro with a handle before, but this is some of its versatility. Usually when I use the Brush Pro, I do not use the handle, but you can see how it's meant to be used in carpet cleaning or tile and grout cleaning. Again, the CRB, counter-rotating brush machine, branded here as the Brush Pro, is meant for carpet cleaners, but look at what you can do. You flip it down, and by flipping it down, it turns on, and the wheels continue to spin. It doesn't matter if you get moisture in or around it. It's used to tile and grout cleaning, where you put liquid onto a hard surface and let this spin and agitate your solution. And so it's really bulletproof in a lot of ways. So normally I would use it for carpeting, but you get into situations like this as an auto detailer way more than you think you will. online. People all post Ferraris, Lamborghinis, shiny cars, paint correction. But you end up in the back of vans or in the back of SUVs with big, giant sections of carpet that are going to look a lot like this, but aren't going to be hard surface. You still want to apply your pre-spray, your carpet cleaner, let that sit and dwell, and then hit it with a Brush Pro. Because the great thing about the Brush Pro is those brushes continuously spin. They make it so effortless. Like, that is a heavy machine, so me just rubbing that along the edge like that, almost just guiding it, because the brushes seem to almost coast along the surface no matter what you do. The brushes are doing all the work. It's like the Rolex of drill brushes. As I just barely push this machine, imagine just how fast those brushes are spinning, the pressure of the machine. It's really great for floor mats too, because it does that great job of, you know, along all the lines of the rubber floor mats, how sometimes when it dries, there's that dry brown residue. You can see those brushes. The way that those get into the grooves of these floor mats is insane, and I've never seen anything like it, and so this investment is absolutely worth it, and I'm showing you why. On a beat up van like this, you could throw a pressure washer in here, for sure. You could dump a bucket of water if you wanted to and squeegee it out the back. For whatever reason, this is probably not the most efficient. I'm just trying to move some of this crud out of the back. What you could do as well is just take a bunch of old shop rags and mop up a lot of the liquid here. But yeah, we're just trying to move a lot of the dirt and soil and whatever crud that stuck to this particular floor. We're trying to move it out of there as much as we can. Now the next step, and this is not necessarily being redundant, because there are a few things like some gum that are still stuck on the ground here. I'm gonna hit it with steam, and any area, especially around these edges where there's crud, around some of those railings that the seats are on the ground, just anywhere that you think still needs a little touch-up work, I would recommend a steamer. I could use the triangle attachment. I tend to use my steamer just with that one hole at the end, just because it gives you the most concentrated power. And for those of you guys out there who use steam, you know this already, but I'm flicking my wrist back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. The power of steam is also the danger of steam. It is so powerful and hot that it gives you superpowers as a detailer, but it can also be dangerous. So never let it sit and dwell on one thing for too long. So you have a little habit of flicking your wrist once you've used a steamer long enough, and even though it's not as dangerous on the back of a dirty old work van, I'm still using the kind of technique here that I use on the steering wheel of an Audi, for instance, right? You just want to keep flicking the fingers, move the steamer quickly, and harness its power as safely as you can. Okay guys, so I'm fairly early on in this detail. I don't need to make this perfect right now. You're gonna see some brown residue dry back up. I'll touch it up with a towel, maybe some APC, and because no one's stepping on this and I don't have to worry about it getting slippery, I'll probably throw some kind of trim restoration, spray sealant, spray wax, whatever I can to really make this pop. You could have done this a number of ways, but the amount of ground that covers with rubber floor mats, I use that every time, and steam, and a pressure washer, because nothing gets into the grooves of this vinyl, plastic, rubber stuff like the Brush Pro. You can use the Brush Pro on carpets, you can use it on rubber floor mats. For $2,000, I know it sounds like a lot of money, but for something I use on every detail, just like my steamer, I don't know how you put a price tag on that. Plus you buy this Austrian-made machine, it'll last you forever. It's made super well. It's a staple of the carpet cleaning industry for a reason, and I'm here to bring that world to you and help you become a better detailer. I would tell you I'm not always profitable or efficient to the level of some guys. I'm making money, I'm not losing money. But this is one of those where I think I could make the argument that it will make you more profitable, because you will have it for the rest of your life and you will use it, I promise, on every detail. Again, this is Nick from Hawk Pro Detailing, where my goal is to make you a better detailer.